Hello everybody, welcome back to Screamers, where today we're going to be previewing our Euros group, a very tricky one. So let's get started.
Let's do it. It is just over a week until the Euros kick off. After what feels like months and months of waiting, we are finally here. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be doing a mega Euros preview to get, hyped up for the tournament. Next week, we'll chat through groups A, B and C, but there's only one place to start this week. The group of death, England's group. We've got England, Netherlands, France, and our beloved Wales.
Sweet, sweet Wales.
Sweet Wales. I mean, our beloved England, obviously, but also our beloved Wales. I guess, should we just, chat through the teams, see who's doing what and what curveballs have been thrown by each squad? Because there's been some fucking curveballs.
Let's do it.
I guess it probably makes sense, doesn't it, to start with England.
The current holders.
The champions.
Lest anyone forget.
Yeah, we will be making that statement from now until the 27th of July, because no one can take it away from us until that point. Who knows what happened that day?
We'll have that gorgeous little badge on our shirt, the champions.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go get it added on this one, just to really, for the the authenticity.
I was thinking about, getting the little badge and the name printing, but it's hard to know who's going to be good. Who do I trust?
Who would you... Yeah, all right, gut instinct now. Who would you get on the back of your shirt?
I think I'd get Russo.
Yeah,
Really?
safe bet.
Yeah, that is a safe bet.
And I really like her.
I think I'd get Greenwood.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
As you should, yeah. Aggie.
Oh, she's so Chelsea coded all of a sudden. We did a little bit of a reaction when it first dropped a couple of episodes ago, but how are we feeling about the squad now? A couple of weeks after it's settled, we've moved past the chaos week where everybody announcing their retirement and putting out statements on Instagram.
I feel good about it now, yeah. I mean, I didn't feel bad about it at the time. I was like, all this crazy shit is happening, but I think it's a strong squad.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the best squad in the Euros, but it's pretty fucking good.
I think it's a strong squad, and I think we haven't had maybe I shouldn't say it, but touch wood. It feels like the people that we were worried about coming back from injury are all kind of peaking at the right time.
Yeah.
Or it kind of feels like in some ways that it's coming together just at the right time, I think. Whereas it has felt quite shaky for the past year.
Yeah.
It seems like it's like
18 months maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it kind of feels like opposite to the World Cup, where it was like we had
key
players
missing
completely out.
Yeah. I'm so glad we have Hemp and Greenwood back. And like you said,
too.
like they're not just like first stages coming back, they're like,
fully ready.
I'm still a bit worried about... Not worried. I'm still the Georgia Stanway like freshness back from injury is still concerning me a little bit. And as is, I mean, the Lauren James gamble, it's not a gamble because, if she's even remotely near fit, you put her in the squad. But like...
I think I'm slightly less worried about Lauren James than I am Georgia Stanway, personally, because I think we're so thin in the midfield.
Oh my God, yeah.
But I also think with Lauren James as well, if she's not able to play a full 90, that's okay. She can come on and see out a game and like just add that control.
Yeah.
Whereas ideally we would have Georgia Stanway playing full 90s.
Being the motor. Yeah, definitely. Because while she's been out, that's what we've been missing.
Totally.
Like Grace Clinton has grown into the role. Like I think she's starting to get to grips with it a bit more, but it
hasn't felt as solid, and also like our forwards have had to drop quite deep to sort of help them out, and that is always a bit difficult because it obviously makes us less effective in the final third ultimately. So I think also Georgia Stanway is such a sort of clutch player for that team, and she's so experienced, and she just she brings the spirit of like a bit like Beth Mead does, of like never getting bullied. And I think sometimes without players like that in the starting 11, we can get walked over a bit more.
It's mad to think how young Georgia Stanway still is as well.
Like, I know.
She just seems to have been around forever.
Wait, how old is she?
She's like 26. Like we should have, years of Stanway left for England still. It's mad. I still remember her as that like 18-year-old like pulling Tobin Heath's hair against the US. There are some babies in the squad. Obviously, Michelle Agerman. I am not expecting her to play that much.
No, I do think she could get a few minutes, but she obviously won't be like getting a massive chunk of playing time.
I agree. I think we'll see similar to when she came on against Belgium, that kind of, not even necessarily a super sub.
No, maybe even just the 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'm just
It
really...
just depends. I don't know if that's Serena's style, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just give someone minutes for the sake of it.
But it won't be for the sake of it. I think it's because she can come on and turn a
score
game
a goal.
around.
Yeah, that's
I'm
true.
just really worried about it being that situation, which we've always seen like happen to promising young English players of like, oh, we need something amazing to happen and you're quite cool and great and promising. Go on. But then if nothing happens, then it's absolutely your fault. It's like, no, well, what about the 85 minutes before that? It's like the one thing I almost like, it's such a great experience for Michelle to be in the squad. And I think it shows real progression planning. But I don't know, I just feel like we've seen the story before of a young wonder kid being blamed for...
Especially a young black wonder kid.
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm I don't know, slightly hesitant about that happening. But I feel like maybe the results have been a bit of a mixed bag for England recently. You know, looking at our Nations League ones, we had some wins, some losses, some draws. But I feel like performance-wise, I don't think you can do anything about Claudia Pina because Claudia Pina just peanut. But I think we, for the most part, we're playing all right against Spain. We obviously demolished Portugal. Belgium, the loss was just because we couldn't cope with the fact that Tessa Woolard can run fast. But
oh God, that was...
But that's hopefully something we're not going to do again.
It's crazy. It's like, how did no one see her coming?
Yeah, she's not new.
I can't go over that. I'm traumatised.
And I mean, ideally, I was sort of looking through all the permutations of the table and I'm like, if England finish second in the group and Spain win their group, which they're probably going to win their group, then we would avoid them in the semi-finals.
I know, but then we meet them in the final, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, it just feels fated at some point that we're going to meet them, doesn't it?
I think we're going to meet. I think we're going to meet them in the semi-final.
Yeah, because like I would rather us absolutely smash through this group and win it. I think that makes because it is such a difficult group. I think that makes such a statement.
Exactly.
But it would be quite nice to avoid Spain for as long as possible. And then we're the current champions, but the previous holders of the Euros are also in the group. Netherlands, who also quite a tumultuous lead up to everyone's going through it.
Yeah,
I think, really.
They've had a bit of a journey.
Everyone's going through it in this group.
Apart from Wales. Wales are chill.
Wales are flying.
Yeah, so obviously the shock draw with Scotland, who have been on terrible form, I think we can all agree.
Apologies, Scottish fans.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is. Yeah. There's no other way of painting that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, again... I would never underestimate the Netherlands because they have some incredible players who are in form for this tournament. But it hasn't quite been coming together for them in the lead up. So I don't know, maybe I'm stupid, but I'm just not that worried about
No,
them.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I just think there are other teams to be much more worried about than the Netherlands. They don't seem that threatening.
Which is mad. When you do look on paper at the papers they have, they also just randomly fired their manager or parted ways with the manager in January for no real reason. I don't think the players were necessarily told from the sounds of it, and then they're now led by Serena's former assistant. Which will that make it easier for us to know what Netherlands are going to be doing? Or?
Maybe. I always kind of think that about Netherlands. I'm like, come on, Serena.
Yeah.
You know what's up.
You know how to undo them.
But seriously, when you look at their play, I mean, they've got Daphne Van Domselaar for a start.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
We've got Savannah Hampton though.
So true. But then they've got Miedema.
Yeah.
Kasparai.
Yeah.
Palova.
Yeah.
Van der Donk.
Van der Carpenter, she might now be named.
Captain.
Van der Carpenter.
Captain, Katja Snoys. They have so many good players.
Berenstein as well, who I always feel
God.
it's just can come on and tear through a defence. Yeah,
Chastity Grant.
Yeah.
God.
It's actually an unbelievable lineup.
By Chastity
yeah.
Yeah.
We all are actually.
It is an unbelievable lineup, but I think that's really saying something that none of us feel that. I mean, maybe we will be again eating our words in a few weeks' time.
Well, famously, we're great at predictions.
But it just feels like they're not, even in our group of death, they're not kind of the ones that I'm terrified of.
No. Did you see their announcement video though? They took a sort of similar approach to England of having people announce the players, and it was really funny. So the Armin van Buuren, the electronic music artist, just did Kirsten Kasparai's, and then they had the energy levels were all over the charts because Daphne Van Domselaar's, I can't remember who it was. It's yes, it's no surprise that I'm announcing Daphne in the squad. And then you've got a radio presenter yeah, come on, yeah. I loved it. Dirk Kuyt was in it, so loved the little Liverpool connection there. But it was just very. I don't know who briefed all of these people, but they did not all get the same brief.
Oh God.
Who are you worried about in the group then? Is it France? Is it France and their chaos?
No.
I'm only worried about France because Melvin Mallard scored a hat-trick 3 days ago.
Yeah.
And suddenly I was
but it was against Belgium. No shade, Belgium.
Well, no offence to us, but
Yeah, but we did also beat them 5-0.
We did also beat them 5-0.
They did fall apart, Well, I mean, look, I think it's just unpredictable. France have also, like, as we've touched on last week, had a pretty crazy squad selection.
Yeah.
They haven't got their linchpin, Wendy Renard. They haven't got Kenza Dali. They haven't got some of their really good players.
However, they have Santi Baltimore.
They do.
They have
Melvin
Mallard.
Yeah.
They have so many good players.
They are quite stacked.
They are stacked, but I wonder if the way that it's been handled of not taking Wendy Renard and also, Kenza Dali and
I mean, Kenza
Sommer.
Dali's got a statement out saying, like, I will tell my side of the story. Like, there's obviously something going on there which is going to cause some sort of chaos in the dressing room.
That's the thing, it's the chaos, isn't it? Because, like, whatever happened with the performances on the pitch, it's like, is it going to be sort of groups now within some people are agreeing it, some people are not? And just to go from somebody who has been, like, the fulcrum of that team for so long, all that experience, all that, I mean, like France never quite make it, do they? But Wendy Renard has been the driving force of that team, and to go into what is a very complicated Euros without her.
It reminds me of before the World Cup when the Lionesses had all that like negotiating over their pay and their bonuses and stuff, and they had to basically say, like, okay, we're going to stop thinking about this and just concentrate on the competition. But I haven't seen, maybe it's because maybe they have decided that within the camp, but like it's such a huge issue that's overshadowing them, and you can't afford to have any distraction when you're going into a tournament like this, especially being in the group that we're all in. So I think unless, like, someone has really laid down the law and been like, we have to just put this aside, those things are really hard to not distract. Like,
feels like they're going to have to just, maybe their approach will be score lots and lots of goals, and that'll balance out the defence, because they've got they've got some defenders. They've got a very young, promising defender who Sombath, who was playing for Lyon against Arsenal and looked very good, but also she's like 20, 21. You can't be to step into those shoes and have to be like the leading the line. I think is such a difficult thing to ask for somebody, especially in the context of all of the chaos.
So I guess TBC on how France do.
I
feel like our group is so competitive, but also the teams have been so unpredictable in it.
It's incredibly unpredictable.
It's like so hard to call how it's actually going to go.
I think everybody in this group can take points off everybody, and that is including Wales.
I agree.
100%.
I think, I mean, we've made absolutely no secret how much we are enamoured with Wales, but they're not. It's like what we said to Jess Fishlock. They're not just going to be there. They're going to, like, compete, and it's such a, what is it she said, that it's such a complex group and there's so many different, like, permutations of it, and it can draw. I think there's going to be quite a few draws in this group.
Exactly, and it could open a window for them to actually really make their mark if other teams are taking points off each other.
I loved their squad announcement the other day.
It was really cool. Up the mountain, like, Rianne, what a genius you are. Did you see the thing that apparently the year before they've been doing a memorial service to her dad up the same mountain, and it's like that turnaround of they do feel like the only settled team in the group, really, don't they? They
definitely do feel like, obviously England camps had a bit of drama, but I'm sure it has been resolved. It doesn't feel like the France drama, but it feels like Wales and maybe Netherlands, and I guess Netherlands have had a new coach, and that's been, like, maybe a bit tumultuous, but it feels like Wales have been really together, and that has always been the power of this team. I think, like, that's what we've talked about with Rianne Wilkinson a lot, is how well she knows her players and how it's very much a team effort, and they always look like they're playing as such a team. And so I think that's definitely the thing that can get them results, and it's definitely something that we've seen. Like, you can have teams with loads of incredible individuals, but if they're not playing together, then it can often not come together. So
they're like the opposite of France, really, aren't they? I feel like Wales, obviously they have stars, like, no, we're not saying they don't have, like, great stand-up players, but they are greater than the sum of their parts.
Totally.
Whereas you look at France, you're like Diani, Katoto, Baltimore,
Mallard,
all of them, but it's like, actually,
is it going to come together? Exactly.
And speaking of the Wales squad, I'm so buzzing for Sophie Ingle. I'm so thrilled that she has made the squad.
Me too.
She has recovered well enough from her, well, I say ACL, it was pretty much every single ligament in her knee, wasn't it? They got shredded.
I just remember that video of the full time when they'd qualified, and she was presenting, and they all like the players came up and like jumped on her while she was like live on air, and she kind of like left the broadcast to go and celebrate with them, and it was so moving. But it was also just emotional. Like it really was like made me really teary when it happened. But then sorry, Honor's feeling a bit fragile.
Honor's vulnerable this morning and it could be moved to tears quite easily.
Let's play her the video.
I can always be moved to tears quite easily, but especially
this morning,
a Sunday morning.
If you put like a Bittersweet Symphony, like I don't know why I pronounce it like that. If you put Bittersweet Symphony,
oh my god, this is like what is it that Jessie pronounces wrong?
Box Park.
Oh, Box Park.
Box Park.
Jessie doesn't say Box Park. She says Box Park.
Box Park.
Box Park. Box Park. I think I'd say Box Park.
Yeah, I think you're weird on it.
No, everybody says Box Park. Okay, we can do a poll.
All right.
Okay.
Box Park or Box Park?
Box Park.
Box Park.
No.
Yeah, because it's a park. So it's like, do you say Regent's Park? No, you say Regent's Park. Oh.
No.
Oh, argue with that one.
Hyde Park. Hyde Park. Hyde Park.
Hyde Park.
Hyde Park.
No, but
you don't say
it's
Hyde
not a
Park.
fucking park. It's a load of fucking boxes. Guys, it's box.
Is that
park.
their new
It's
tagline? Is that how they're going to commercial partners? It's a load of fucking boxes.
It's not a park, it's a load of fucking boxes.
Anyway, TBC audience vote.
Anyway, we're really happy for Sophie Ingle.
Really happy for Sophie Ingle.
Buzzing.
Really, just I'm so excited for what Wales are going to do. Like, I think it's going to be that England game is going to be.
Oh my god!
Like the vibes at that England game are
That's going to be
crazy.
a tough game for us guys, because I actually think we kind of started off as a joke, being like, "Oh my god, we love Wales," but actually we love Wales.
Oh yeah,
and I think it's watching them play in the Nations League has been so exciting.
Yeah,
I think we've all locked into the Wales journey so much that I think that is going to be quite a hard. We're all going to be there, and it's going to be quite a hard game. I think.
Yeah, because you want them to like do well.
Do you think I should like cut my England shirt up the middle?
I'll never speak to you again.
So half a Wales shirt.
Yeah, I will never speak
think
to
you
you again.
should. No,
Seriously?
I think you should do
Half and half shirts, piss off.
No, but that would be so cool, don't you think?
I don't think it would be cool, but I think you should do it because it would be really funny.
I think you could get. It's the one time where I think a half and half scarf would be acceptable.
No, but it's too hot for a scarf, Jessie. I want a half and half shirt.
If you wanna make it, then you can.
Maybe I'll do it with one of my old England shirts.
Yeah, cut it up.
I think it'd be quite funny. Because then I could give the other halves of the two to Suki.
It's like
You could both be matching but opposite sides.
That might be the gayest thing you've ever seen. Here comes the couple in their matching half and half.
I feel
shirts.
like it's the equivalent of full kit wanker. You need to get half and half shorts as well, but the other direction, the other sides, the different colours,
and one sock of each,
Or
and you
like
full all
Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
That's what we call you behind your back. Didn't realise.
Wait, guys, I really want to do that. If anyone has an old spare Welsh shirt they want to send me for the cause, please do put it in the post.
Maybe you could wear like a little headdress as well that's one half daffodil and one half lion.
Not for me. Jess is gone. I'm not really
Just
into
really
headdresses.
lean into it.
As you know, I'm into comfort, and headdresses don't fall into that.
Oh, maybe you just need to get themed scrunchies.
Now that's a good idea. I could wear an England shirt and a Wales scrunchie.
There you go.
Yeah, subtle.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad we've talked her out of the half and half shirt.
We haven't yet. If someone sends a Welsh shirt, I will make one.
I hope someone does, because I really want to see that.
Listeners.
Yeah. If you want to make that happen. But yeah, I think it's been so nice to see like a coherent team philosophy and a coach who cares about our players and has a plan and is going into a major tournament with like, this is what we're going to do. And I thought what Jess Fisher, like, okay, we're out of Nations League A, but that's not the big prize this summer. The big prize is the Euros. So
exactly.
I feel like they're also going to be maybe not as thrown by the results in Nations League, which many of them could have gone their way. And I think they're not going to get bogged down in the like, oh, if this had happened, oh, if that had happened.
Yeah.
Like, I just think this group is going to be. I was going to say I can't predict it, but let's try and predict it. Who do you think's going to?
I think I back us to top the group.
Yes.
I think because we have obviously an amazing squad, but I also think we potentially have a bit more consistency than France and Netherlands.
Yeah.
And I think, no offense to Wales, but I do think we are sort of, our quality is better.
Yeah.
So I think we will top the group.
Yes. Do you think it's 3 out of 3?
Oh,
I think we do. I think we
might
wins and a draw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think we might get a draw.
I can't be doing maths this morning, but
I think we might not get
I
all wins.
don't think we can get all wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think second place is really hard to call. I really want it to be Wales, but I don't think it will be.
I want it to be Wales.
I want it to be Wales. I think it might be France.
Oh,
I'll go Netherlands.
I think Netherlands. Yeah, I feel like
no. Fuck it. I'm going Wales.
All right.
England, Wales, Netherlands, France.
I think
France are not just getting grouped, but they're getting bottom of the group.
They're getting nil point. Nil point.
Yeah.
Okay, mademoiselle.
Où est la bibliothèque? Yeah, I think I feel like Netherlands. I feel like they should, with the players that they have.
Yeah, with the players they have, they should come second at least. At least.
At least.
The players that France have.
Well, that's what I mean. I just, for some reason, I just haven't been at all. I just haven't seen like an incredible Netherlands performance for a while. No. Whereas France have shown some moments of brilliance.
Yeah.
And I always find France a really dynamic team. Like they're really fast.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that might play to their advantage. So I'm just going to go France second. But I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if it was Netherlands.
Yeah.
Or Wales.
And I wouldn't be surprised if it was Wales.
Yeah, but the
I would
only
just
thing
be
that's certain,
thrilled.
Yeah, I'd be overjoyed. The only thing that's certain is England are top in the group.
Yeah, exactly.
I think if Wales pick up any points, I'll just be like
buzzing. Me too.
It's gonna be good. They deserve.
Yeah, it could be
something
it could
to show
be
for it,
like
even if they don't.
That's
go through.
why the group is so exciting. Is like we're sitting here and we can't call it at all. It's like so not clear cut. Anything could happen, really.
We have some very exciting news, which is that we've just set up our own Fantasy Euros League in the Fantasy WSL app. So if you've been playing the WSL game, the app has automatically updated and morphed into the Euros 2025 game. So yeah, I haven't actually started setting my team up yet, but I'm a bit nervous because I don't know who to pick.
Well, we did our fancy Euros 11s, didn't we? A couple of episodes ago.
We did, but I'm not sure I'm going to have the budget for that team.
No, and they're absolutely not going to have the budget for that team.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
The problem is...
I haven't finalised my team yet, but I did open up the app and start doing... from that Fantasy 11, and I got about 4 players in. It's like, oh, you now have 20 million left. I was like, okay. We're going to have to rethink this one, maybe.
It's going to be a challenge, and you know what? I love to win.
Yeah.
And I've never won a fantasy game, but I'm actually in the NWSL one. I'm really
So you told me you got like 60 points last weekend.
65, baby.
Oh, I forgot to do something again.
I did as well. I haven't even opened the app, unfortunately.
I haven't checked this
weekend. I'm so bad at remembering.
I need to check this weekend. Okay, after we finish recording.
Yeah. So Honor is going to be very competitive, so we need some people to challenge her for the throne because it won't, let's be honest, it won't be Myra or I.
No. Someone step up to the plate.
I need real competitors, but don't be too good, please. And so you can join our league by just using the code SCREAMERS when you're searching for a league to join.
Welcome.
Very simple. Don't fuck it up. If you do, what are you doing?
We'll see you there.
Has anybody got anything for the Woso Community Noticeboard?
I guess the big news that has dropped since we last recorded is that the WSL is going to expand.
Oh my God, we haven't talked about that.
We haven't talked about that.
That is really exciting. I'm happy that there's finally an actual plan.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm interested in the introduction of the playoff.
Yes.
So they've now confirmed that there'll be no automatic relegation from the WSL. The top 2 teams from the WSL 2/Championship will be promoted, and then there'll be a playoff between 3rd place in WSL 2 and bottom place in the WSL. So we'll end up with 14 teams in WSL for the season after next.
Yeah. And potentially 3 teams from the Championship.
Which is so exciting.
So fun. But also every team that's like just missed out in recent years and is then like maybe fallen down the table. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Like, now
we could just come 3rd.
Yeah. And that's just for next season, isn't it? So then seasons after that, there will be 1 automatic promotion spot, as it is now from WSL 2, but there will still also be the playoff. So there'll be 1 relegated, 1 up, and then a playoff between the second bottom team in the WSL and the runners up in the WSL 2. So you could have a lot of change each season. It's actually really exciting.
So does that mean they're capping the growth then at next season?
They're capping it at 14,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting because I thought they were going to kind of keep growing until we were actually a lot bigger.
I wonder, like...
Maybe they realised that there weren't maybe enough teams to sustain that.
Yeah, I think you've got to stagger it. Like, it's really exciting that there isn't actually, like you said, there's a coherent plan now about how they're going to grow it. But it does feel like you could, if they did it too quickly, while you know, how many teams have we talked about this
who couldn't sustain that.
Couldn't sustain that,
financially.
don't want to fund their teams.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, you could just then have like, you know, the same 3 teams getting absolutely spanked each week. So
it's interesting, isn't it? Because we in England have all of these teams that like, in a sense, could become part of the WSL.
Yeah.
Whereas like in America, they don't have that.
Yeah.
But they just have this expansion team thing, which somehow is so well funded that they have expanded at such a fast rate comparatively.
Yeah.
It's funny how they are literally creating teams out of dust.
Yeah.
And we have all these teams, but our sort of financial setup, or the setup of English football just means that actually there's so many barriers in place for them joining the top flight.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
And all the and there's such a opaqueness about the like the license requirements as well. So these clubs are like, we can't afford to do this and do that. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, like not every club is a Chelsea or an Arsenal or a Man United or a Man City in terms of like funds they have available. But I don't think if you are a professional men's club in the top, at least in the Premier League or the Championship, that you would not have the funds to hire a marketing coordinator or like, you know, just something quite small. Like the requirements don't seem to be prohibitive.
No.
So I'm really hoping the fact that there's now like a concerted like drive to expansion. I can't remember where I was listening to it, but they said that actually they're not surprised that clubs didn't vote to end relegation indefinitely, because it would just make the broadcast deals a little bit less valuable.
Yeah.
Because why would, you know,
What are you watching for? Where's the jeopardy?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting.
I think also the fact that lower down clubs, maybe Premier League clubs who have women's clubs who are playing in a lower league, can now see that there is this opportunity for expansion. So it's actually not as difficult as having to like replace a team that's already in WSL. Could give a lot of these clubs like the push they need to start properly kind of pushing on, investing, because they can see that actually there is a pathway to get into the WSL, which isn't maybe as like super competitive and tough as it maybe has been for the last few years,
and like the jump's not as steep.
Exactly. Yeah. So maybe that will encourage, you know, lots of these clubs who could easily have things in place for a women's team that was like fully funded and had the right facilities to really push on. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see, because I think they're deciding how this then changes. I don't think there's currently any changes to the a National League promotion, but I think there will be at some point. But then, I mean, the other kind of really big news in terms of structure this over the past week is that Burnley, I think it's been on the cards for a while, I don't think it's actually new that they're going to do it, but Burnley are going professional, and they are in the third tier.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, again, long term, it shows a real ambition from Burnley.
And they've just appointed Matt Beard.
Super Matt Beard. The Bovril King.
That is definitely ambition, if you ask me, from the club.
Yeah. A WSL winner. And also, there must be, like, a manager doesn't go, he's not the kind of guy to chase a payday. So there has to be, like, an exciting project there.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel it's the ambition we've seen from other teams in the third tier, which obviously we've spoken about before, like Nottingham Forest, who are now in the Championship.
Yeah.
I think, following on, we're going to see so much more of a push from them.
Yeah.
To be
exciting.
in the WSL.
And then more ambition for my notice, which is the news that dropped a couple of days ago that DVD, Danielle van der Donk, has signed for London City Lionesses.
I wonder how that negotiation came about. I mean...
Huge news, though. Huge signing for London City Lionesses.
On a 2-year deal as well, which is you know, Michelle is here to stay.
Yeah.
They are, which, I mean, with the change of the promotion, then why wouldn't they, really?
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited too. And it also, has been obviously then therefore rumoured that Ellie Carpenter, her new wife, is potentially signing for Chelsea.
Yes.
So more news on that as it comes. But I mean, it's exciting to see them both, DVD back in the WSL.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I think for Ellie Carpenter, if you have followed women's football for a long time, you probably know Ellie Carpenter, but I think maybe a lot of newer fans to WSL just she's like, plays for Australia. Like, I heard her name, I kind of know her, but I've never really seen her play much. It'd be quite interesting, it'd be quite cool. Because again, she's like, 25?
She's 25.
And she's already had how many caps for Australia? She's had such a long career already.
Crazy. And obviously massive career at Lyon.
Yeah. So I think that'd be really cool. But like, I wonder who else.
From Lyon. From her other team, is she picking over?
I saw someone on Twitter said it's like when you move your laundry, you've got to put away. You move it from the bed to the floor, to the chair to the bed. Like, because I mean, she's also moved Jonathan Heraldez, isn't she? to Leon from the Spirit. So who knows?
She's just playing chess.
It's
She
just
is.
Kang's world, and we're all living in it.
The other thing that I spotted this week, which I thought was really cool, and we're talking about long-term growth of the game, was that Nielsen Sports and Pepsi, randomly, who knows why,
They're quite involved in sports.
I know. I just love when you see these massive studies funded by PepsiCo. But women's football is on track to be by 2030 the 5th biggest sport in the world globally.
Wow,
they think it will reach
crazy.
800 million fans by that point, and they're predicting a 38% increase in the reach of women's soccer over the next 5 years. So currently, according to this study, they think that it has the 10th largest global fan base behind men's football, basketball, swimming, Formula One, track and field, tennis, volleyball, cycling and badminton. I was quite surprised by some of the sports in that.
Yeah, I guess
Badminton.
If we're thinking worldwide, though, probably badminton.
Yeah.
I know
Asia.
it's quite big in Asia, and then volleyball in other the rest of Europe.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
Australia,
Australia, US.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of weird that swimming is ahead of Formula One, to me.
Yeah.
That feels strange.
I think because Formula One has such a presence, people think of it as really having a massive fan base, and it has got a massive fan base, but it's growing.
Yeah,
also.
I think they think that also what will come in terms of sponsorship and money in the game, I guess, will rise on a similar level. That it has, they're predicting it has the potential to be on the same par as Formula One in tennis. Which
Wow.
Mega.
that is sort of a lot of money will be flowing into the game. I think it'd be quite interesting to see how and where that goes.
We're all on this journey together, guys.
I have one thing for the notice board.
Yeah,
It's very short.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw that Tony Duggan scored an epic goal at Soccer
Oh,
Age.
yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it before getting taken out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they.
No, Steph
Steph
Orton
Orton,
got
yeah.
taken out by Bonucci.
But I mean, absolutely flattened. But
Oh, I love Tony Duggan.
all the stuff on Twitter afterwards.
Oh
I'm
God,
like,
it was actually
it
quite
was so
sickening.
disgusting.
What was it?
It-
I'm not on Twitter.
It was
No.
all people I say people, men,
Yeah.
celebrating Steph Orton getting taken out by Bonucci, who is a renowned hard tackler.
Yeah.
Bit
It was
of a bit of a hard bastard.
yeah.
It was but also it was a fine tackle. It was a fine
Yeah,
tackle.
it was a fine tackle.
It was just kind of, she fell a bit awkwardly, but the amount of people
Yeah.
well, yeah, if you want to be equal, then you've got to get used to being tackled like that. It's no, she was captain of England. She was a starting centre back for
Yeah.
years.
I think
She's
she's
used to being
fine,
tackled.
yeah.
Yeah. But why are you so excited about the idea of
A woman getting hurt.
yeah. But
It was quite disgusting.
disgusting.
But Tony Duggan's goal,
Yeah.
absolute gorgeous finish.
It was
Bottom corner, great run, great ball, through ball.
Serena, call her
from-
back up.
Genuinely, I'll take her.
Was that
Still got it.
Was it Bella Ramsey who got the assist? Because
No,
it was so
no,
funny
it was
watching
a
Bella
player.
Ramsey, seeing clips of them playing and showing for the ball like a
I
professional
know.
footballer.
They said afterwards that was what they found most weird, show for the ball from some ex-star player.
Steph, here on your left. Also, have you noticed the resemblance between Bella Ramsey and Lotte Wubben-Moy?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God,
Right,
yes.
they've got a
I'm
bit
just
of
saying,
something.
future casting.
Oh yeah,
The story of Lotte's life.
I hadn't noticed that before, but now
From
you say
footballer
it.
to prime minister.
Yeah, exactly. The story's there. And also the other thing about now you've brought it up, I've just remembered all of the Soccer Aid things. Did you see Alex Scott's outfit?
Oh my God, yes.
Did
The
you see what was
leather.
stitched in the label inside?
Yeah,
What do we think of Tottenham?
that was quite iconic. That's a nice little detail.
She looked amazing.
Yeah, she looked incredible.
She always looks amazing.
That's all we've got time for this week, but come back next week for part 2 of our Euros preview. But until then,
Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all of the socials at screamers_pod, or you can email us at screamerspod@gmail.com.
And follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever it is you're listening to be the first to know when a new episode drops.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.